Greetings and welcome to another installment from the Patchwork Productionz Learn to Crochet for Beginners series. In this video, we will be making the lemon peel stitch. For those of you who are new to my channel, my name is Stitch, and Patchwork Productionz is all about learning and doing crochet. So make sure you subscribe so you never miss another installment. Without further ado, let's get started. So for this video, we are going to learn how to make a new pattern stitch. And this pattern stitch is called the lemon peel stitch. Probably should have used yellow for this, but anywho's. This pattern stitch is very easy to make. It's just a pattern of single crochets and double crochets. Now, if you haven't seen my previous pattern stitch tutorial on the moss stitch, I encourage you to check that out. That one was also an easy pattern stitch, which was just a pattern of single crochets and chains. So this one is a little different, gives a different texture. It looks very nice. So to make this stitch, you'll begin with a foundation chain of any number of stitches you want, but for now we will start with an even number of stitches to begin. So I'll do 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then we'll add one more chain for our turning chain. So it now becomes an odd number of chains. So to begin this, we are going to, in the second chain from the hook, we're going to work a single crochet, and then into the next stitch we're going to work a double crochet. And then to the next stitch a single crochet, and into the next stitch a double crochet, and so on and so forth. So you basically repeat this pattern to the end of each row. And so I'll show you what to do when you get to the end of the row and you go to move on to a new row. So we're here at the end of row 1, and so for row 2, all we need to do is repeat the exact same steps of row 1 starting from the chain. So we're going to chain 1, turn our work, or you can turn your work and chain 1, and then that first stitch is a double, that was on the bottom row, is a double crochet stitch. But because we're doing the exact same pattern, we start with a single crochet. So into that first stitch, you're going to work a single crochet, and then into the next stitch, you're going to work a double crochet. Oops, too many loops. And then into the next stitch, you're going to work a single crochet, and into the next stitch you're going to work a double crochet. Oopsie. Keep doing treble crochets here. And so on and so forth. So if you see here, the basic pattern behind the lemon peel stitch is that wherever there is a single crochet, you put a double crochet, and wherever there is a double crochet, you put a single crochet. And so that's what we are doing, and because of how we've done this, we can just repeat the exact instructions from row 1 throughout every single row. And now here at the end of row 2, we can work into this last stitch here with a double crochet, and there's the end of row 2. So again, to begin a new row, we just chain 1, turn our work, or turn our work and chain 1, either way. And of course, that last stitch we made was a double crochet, but because we're doing that same instructions, we always just begin with a single crochet. Wherever there's a double crochet, you put a single crochet, and wherever there's a single crochet, you work a double crochet. And so you can just keep working this pattern all the way up as far as you'd like it. So I'm going to work some more of this and then come back to you when I have a couple more rows to show you what a small little swatch looks like. So this is what this would look like as a tiny little square, and I do say this is a very, very beautiful looking stitch. If you look nice and closely, this is what it looks like, and you can sort of see it has like these small little, I don't know if you can see it more from the side or not, but there are these like bumps, and that's sort of caused because those double crochets get pulled down, get a little shrunken by the single crochets that you do on either side of them, and so they kind of get a little pudgy. But it's a very, very beautiful textured stitch. I certainly like it, and it is very, very easy to do. And again, the principle behind it is that you have a single crochet, which is one height, and you have a double crochet, which is another height, and then on the second row, where that single crochet was, you put the double crochet, and where the double crochet was, you put a single crochet, so the height eventually evens out, as you can see, over time that you make the project. So it is a very nice looking stitch, easy to make, and something I would like to note is that for this project we started with a base amount of stitches for our chain, which was an even number, 10, and then we added one more for our turning chain. So if we count this up top here, you'll see that we have, minus the loop of course, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we have 10 stitches to count up top here, and that's because that turning chain of course is not counted, and so we move along. Now if we started with a base amount of odd numbered stitches, let's say I did 11 and then added a turning chain, that would make my total number of chains 12. They would need to adjust the pattern just slightly. So with this pattern, we could do the exact same thing we did on row 1 for every other row. But for if you were to do an odd number of base stitches and then a turning chain, you would need to alternate each row when you start with a single crochet or a double crochet, because again, the idea is that wherever on the row below, wherever there was a single crochet, you want to have a double crochet on the row you're currently making. So if the stitch you're going to work into is a double crochet, you want to work a single crochet, and if the stitch you're going to work into is a single crochet, you want to work a double crochet. So if I had done this as an odd number of stitches and then a turning chain, so if I did 11 and then 12 and did this project starting with single crochets, on row 2 I would start with a double crochet, not a single crochet, because the last stitch I would have worked would have been a single crochet, not a double crochet. So just something to note about that. But you can do this pattern with any number of stitches. You just have to make sure that if you end up with an odd number plus your turning chain, that you're going to want to do alternating when you start with a double crochet or a single crochet. And if you do even number plus your turning chain, you can just do, if you start with your single crochet and then do double crochet, single crochet, double crochet, etc., you can just do that for the whole way up, no problem. So this is the lemon peel stitch. Very nice stitch to make. Be nice to make something with this, so I'll try to do that. So other than that, that will be all for this tutorial. Thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed this tutorial and want to learn more about crochet, be sure to hit the subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you never miss another video. Don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up And also share this video with your friends and family or on social media. And feel free to leave a comment down below. If you have any questions or suggestions or any feedback, I'd love to hear from you. Until next time, catch you later.